Good morning, YouTube friends. Today we'll be installing some red LED turn signal inserts and a Smart Triple Play on my Harley Davidson Electra Glide. I want to say before we get started, I am not being paid to make this video. No one gave me these parts for free. No one is sponsoring this video. I'm making this video because these are parts that I'm putting on my bike because I like them. There's plenty of other options out there, and if you want to use those, use those. Use what you like. I'm not trying to advertise for these people. I'm just trying to show you how to use the ones that I got in case you use the same ones. It's all really simple. The video is probably unnecessary, but I enjoy making videos. So, I hope you enjoy watching, and let's get into it. So this is currently how the rear lighting on the Franken Glide looks. We've got amber lights in the turn signals, and the turn signals only function as turn signals, not running lights or brake lights. So next I'm going to put red lights in there in the turn signals, and then we're going to put a module called a Smart Triple Play in line with the turn signals and brake light, and that'll turn our turn signals into brake lights, running lights, and turn signals. Super easy install. These will replace an incandescent bulb as well. So your flat side goes to the middle because there's a flat side inside. And then just plug this guy in just like it's an incandescent bulb. Push in, quarter turn, good to go. I'm not going to put the lenses back on until I make sure they work. And there we go. Now I've got a red light. We'll do the same thing again on the other side. And again, flat side goes to the middle because there's a flat side. All right, we got our red lights in, so now we're going to put in our Smart Triple Play module. I already filmed this once, so it's already in there, but I'm just going to open up the seat and show you how to install it and go through the setup instructions. So it lives right under the seat, super easy. So this is a signal stabilizer. This is what allows the bike to run the LED turn signals and have them flash at the proper rate. Without this, they might not flash at all, or they might flash really fast, but your turn signals will do weird things without this if you have a bike that is a 2013 or older. 2014 or newer, you don't need this. You can get into the computer with a diagnostic tool and just change it to be set for LEDs, and it'll work. This is the Smart Triple Play module. So you've got a little dial in here with numbers on it and 2 switches. Now these both plug straight into your taillight harness. So you got the harness right here that comes out of the taillights and goes into the fender. And you got the harness that comes from the bike to run the taillights. So it is important that if you're using both a signal stabilizer and a Smart Triple Play, or what do you call it? A Magic Strobes unit. If you're not going to use a Smart Triple Play, but you want the strobing tail light, you can use a thing called a Magic Strobes. This unit has to plug in at the tail light harness side, and this plugs in at the bike side, and they both plug into each other in the middle. If you put them in the wrong order, it won't work right. So make sure that the flasher unit is to the taillight side of the harness. So if you're plugging it in from back to front, you plug in this to the taillights, then plug in your flasher to the taillights, plug your signal stabilizer into your flasher, and then plug the bike harness into the signal stabilizer, if that makes sense. All right, so like I said, on this thing you've got a dial, and you got switch 2 and switch 1. So we're gonna go through the setup instructions with this back here so you can see what's going on with the lights. All right, so with this installed, you turn the ignition on. Well, first of all, we're going to start with the little dial in the 0 position, so you need the tiniest little screwdriver that you can find. This one's actually a little large. So you get it plugged in, turn the ignition on, your lights come on. Taillight turn signals are illuminated as running lights, and they are. So you can check right turn, check your left turn, and then we should apply the brake. It should flash 4 times and then be solid. And if I let go, it should be dim again. My front brake sticks a little bit, so bear with me. Now we're gonna do the turn signal. Oops, there we go. Turn signal's blinking. And the brake should blink and stay solid. And the turn signal should light up on the right-hand side as a brake light, but not blink. And my left turn should keep blinking. And for some reason, the left one has one long blink sometimes. And we'll do the same thing with the right-hand side. I guess they both have a long blink sometimes. I think it's the bike. And everything's basically working the way it should. So now we're going to set the turn signal intensity. So what that does is it allows us to control how bright our turn signals are as running lights. So we start with both our switches in the off position. We turn the ignition on. We go on, off, on, off, on. And they should do that and go dim. And now I can turn the dial to adjust the intensity that I want. And with each click, it should get a little bit brighter. And the point is to try and match the brightness of the tail light. And I think that's pretty good right there, and that's only on 2. So once we've done that, we hold the brake and it'll be saved. Now that should save that intensity of the turn signal lights. So if I turn it off and back on, they should stay the same, and they have. So now I can choose the flash pattern that I want. So this works with incandescent bulbs as well, and you do have multiple options. So your switch functions, switch 1 and 2 on, you got strobes or flashers on all 3 rear lights. Switch 1 on and switch 2 off. It only flashes the turn signals. Switch 1 off and switch 2 on, it only flashes the tail light. Switch 1 off and switch 2 off, there's no flashing at all. So if all you wanted to do is turn your turn signals into running lights and not have anything flash, you can do that too. And then you can also choose the strobe or flash pattern. So with the dial at 0, you get 4 flashes and then a solid brake light. With the dial on 1, you get 4 flashes, solid brake light for 3 seconds, and then 4 flashes and a solid brake light for 3 seconds, and it'll continue to repeat that pattern. Dial on setting 2, 7 flashes and then solid. Dial on setting 3, 7 flashes, solid for 3 seconds, and then it repeats 7 flashes and solid for 3 seconds again. And settings 0, 1, 2, and 3 work with incandescent bulbs as well as LED bulbs. Setting 4 is the quad strobe and then solid strobe. That's for LED only. Settings 4 through 9 are LED only. Pattern 5, quad strobe, solid for 1 second, then quad strobe, then solid for 3 seconds. Pattern 6, the quote-unquote Blaster X pattern for 6 seconds and then solid. Pattern 7 is constant Blaster X. Pattern 8 is constant fast strobe for 4 seconds and then solid. And pattern 9 is constant fast strobe. So let's see all of them in action. This is 0. Here's 2. Three. 4. 5. 6. 7, which just does this continuously, and that's what I usually set it on. 8. 9. Hopefully all those come through clearly with the frame rate of the camera. But there you have it. Smart Triple Play, magic strobes installed.